One quiet afternoon, two concerned citizens noticed a suspicious man walking down the street. The man had just bought a bicycle, and he was carrying a bag with something hard inside, gasoline and things like that. The two men immediately felt that something was wrong. They approached him carefully. One of them pointed at the bag. Then he asked a simple question. "What do you need a bag for if you bought a bicycle?" The man froze. A drop of sweat appeared on his forehead. The street became silent. Soon he was sweating a lot. A lot. The two citizens decided not to take any risks. They restrained the suspect and waited for the police. Minutes later, a patrol car arrived. The man was taken to the police station. There he was placed in a dark interrogation room. Two officers entered. One of them sat down calmly. The other suddenly slammed his fist on the table. "Explain yourself. How could you do something this disgusting? Do you understand what you've done? You bought a bicycle. And you still had a bag." The suspect remained silent. Sweat was now dripping down his face. The calm officer slowly leaned forward. "Listen," he said quietly. "We understand that people make mistakes. But carrying a bag after buying a bicycle, that is very serious." The suspect said nothing. He only continued sweating. The calm officer tried to stay composed. But then he suddenly stood up. "No, no. This is not normal. You cannot do that. You cannot buy a bicycle and still have a bag." The suspect continued sweating. Soon experts were called. Psychologists, criminologists, transportation specialists. After several hours, they reached a unanimous conclusion. Anyone who carries a bag after buying a bicycle clearly requires psychiatric treatment. But the story did not end there. The case exploded in the media. Television debates appeared everywhere. Experts argued day and night about the central question. Who gave the man the bag? Who sold him the bicycle? Who invented the bicycle? And should he be prosecuted too? Universities organized emergency conferences. Philosophers filled entire chalkboards with complicated diagrams. They argued about the meaning of the bicycle. What came first? The bag or the bicycle? If the bag exists, therefore it thinks? The public demanded answers. Eventually, the government had no choice but to act. A historic law was passed. From that day forward, every bag must remain at least 500 meters away from any bicycle. Across the country, people celebrated. Music filled the streets. Crowds danced with joy. Order had finally been restored. But far away from the celebration, behind the window of a quiet psychiatric hospital, a man stood silently watching the crowd. He was sweating heavily.